Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today I am going to talk about Salafi school of thought, which according to Wikipedia is the fastest growing school of thought in Islam. In our teenage, we used to watch Dr. Zakir Naik and we were very inspired by him. And even today I am very much inspired by Dr. Zakir Naik. And though Dr. Zakir Naik never called himself a Salafi, but his background, all what he says actually belongs to the Salafi school of thought. And because of the popularity of Dr. Zakir Naik, the Salafi school of thought spread widely in India, or you can say that it spread widely in the subcontinent, due to which even many youths, including me, were very much inspired by Salafi school of thought. The reason why we were inspired by Salafi school of thought was that uh, they claim to follow the evidence. They claim to follow the Quran and the Sunnah, and they claim that the other people who are not Salafi, they are basically following their imams or their scholars. Now, on the face value, it looked very good, it looked very authentic. And since Dr. Zakir Naik was more reason based and more logic based, this school of thought even seemed to be very much logical at the onset. But as the time passed and we watched other speakers on Salfi school of thought, slowly but surely, I came to realize that it is becoming more and more dogmatic and more illogical. Uh, because many things in this school of thought, for example, many people in the Salfi school of thought, even other schools of thought, they say that you should not use reason to understand deen. You should reason is I mean intellect is the reason why people gets deviated from the right path. You should use salaf salihin, always use the statement of the salafs to understand the truth. Now my problem with this is that Ahle Hadith or the Salafi school of thought, they started as a very uh, evidence-based school of thought. They say that we only need to follow only one human being, which is Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. And they accused the other school of thought of being blind followers of their own clergies or their own scholars. But as we grow in Salafi school of thought and as we see that the slowly but surely this school of thought is spreading, we are seeing the same pattern in the school of thought. They are basically saying that we need to follow the Salaf Salihin. So, what difference does this make with respect to other school of thought? I mean, they are also following their own scholars, and you are also following your own scholars. So, what is the difference? And they say, no, we follow only Quran and Sahih Hadith, and they follow their imams. They follow Imam Hanifa, Imam Shafi, Imam Malik. But at the same time, I realized that even these people, they follow Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal, they follow Imam Bukhari, Imam Muslim, and all the muhaddisin. They accuse other people of flying or of blindly following the four imams, which is to a much extent a true accusation. But at the same time, they blindly follow the six muhaddisun, Imam Bukhari, Imam Muslim, Imam Ahmad, and according to them, that anything which is a sahih hadith, we have to follow it, which I can understand is a very good example. But who decides whether a hadith is sahih or right? A scholar decides, right? If Imam Bukhari says that suppose this hadith is a sahih hadith, then he is deciding. So basically, what you are doing, you are following Imam Bukhari blindly, because anything which differs from Sahih al Bukhari automatically gets rejected. Why? Because it is in Bukhari. So it is more of a circular reason. It has become more of a circular reason to accept Sahih al Bukhari. Why should we accept Sahih al Bukhari? Because it was authentic hadith. Who declared it authentic? Not Allah and His Rasul, but Imam Bukhari. I respect Imam Bukhari. I am against the book Sahih al-Bukhari. We need to realize that even Sahih al-Bukhari is not infallible, which cannot be challenged. Like other books of hadith, it needs to be revised. At least it needs to be checked over and over again. So this was an inconsistency which I see in the Salafi school of thought. And other thing I have begun to realize that they have become very from a very intellectual to a very dogmatic approach. Any new thing which comes becomes haram from the Salafi school of thought. And like many things, they say not all Salafis, but many things like they say that voting is haram, that uh, this is tagut, that is tagut, and we should do al-wara wal-bara, that is basically hate on other people, whether that be Muslims or non-Muslims, and we should do takfir. Though they claim to be against takfir, but in practically, if you see, most of the Salafi scholars, what they do, they actually make sessions on the heresies and the mistakes of other school of thought and the heresies and mistakes of other scholars, especially if those scholars are are in minority. So basically, they soft target someone. So this is something which I have found in the Salafi school of thought. There are many things which are even great. There are many scholars in the Salafi school of thought which are very intelligent, very rational. But the other side of Salafi school of thought is that there are many scholars as well which are very dogmatic and very extremist and which are making the deen very difficult. Earlier, Al-Hadith or the Salafi school of thought was a breath of fresh air as compared to Deobandi and the Barelvis. But in today's time, I feel that it has very less difference as compared to Deobandi and Bareli. And one of the things which I feel is today's mainstream Salafi school of thought is that their issue with Takfir and their declaration of anyone who differs from him as something which is a bidati or a kafir or mushrik. Now, this is a very dangerous behavior. This is close to Khawarijism. I would not declare Salafis to be Khawarij as a whole, but uh, the pathway actually leads to that way, to Khawarijism, to being a Khawarij. So, this is what I feel about Salafi school of thought. And if you differ with me on anything, or if you want to defend Salafi school of thought, you can comment below. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.